All right, shalom, shalom. Before I start, I want to give all honors and glories and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Wahab, Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, because that's who I learned this truth from, through the spirit and power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. Peace, blessings, salutations, shalom, full shalom to you, sincere brothers, scattered abroad, pushing forth this word in truth and sincerity. I am Mashiach, Ara, Zakah, Bangay, Yasha Allah, coming through the spirit, and pretty much this lecture is going to be titled as the laws, statutes, and commandments we should be rehearsing. All right, the laws and statutes and commandments we need to be rehearsing, and the reason why we need to be rehearsing keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments is because that's rehearsing the righteous acts. All right, that is what is rehearsing the righteous acts, and that shows that you love Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right, this is Deuteronomy, chapter 8, verse 8. Chapter 8, verse 1. Salakia. It says, all the commandments which I commanded thee this day. So this is what the Lord is saying unto the Israelites. All right. This is what the Most High is saying unto the Israelites. Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 1. And all the commandments which I command thee this day shall ye observe to do, that ye may live and multiply and go in and possess the land which the Lord, who's Yahweh, swore unto your fathers. Because the Lord promised Father Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that he will give us a land. All right, and that land was the land of Israel. All right, which was the Canaanite city. All right, you know. So, we swore to the Lord when you read in Exodus that we would keep his laws and statutes and commandments. All right, and another precept I'm gonna go to is Deuteronomy chapter 11. And we're gonna read verse 27, or is it 26? I'll start from verse 26. Behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. So us that are Israelites, we have blessings and curses. All right, we have a blessing and we have curses. All right, let's find out what those curses are. Verse 27, a blessing, if ye obey the commandments of the Lord your power, which I commanded you this day. All right, verse 28, and a curse, if ye will not obey the commandments of the Lord your power, but turn aside out of the way which I commanded you this day, to go after other gods which ye have not known. All right, so us that are Israelites, we are to be rehearsing the righteous acts, which is keeping the laws and statutes and commandments. All right, our people today, the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and the American Indians that are westernized, that are naive, that are embedded in the ways of society, that are embedded in the philosophies of Esau. All right, they are not keeping the laws and statutes and commandments. All right, they worshiping all these different deities, giving all these false gods credit. They're in all these different religions and all these different beliefs and philosophies. All right, and those are those curses. All right, that our people are in. All right, and that's a curse. Being in all these different religions, worshiping all these different idols, all these different gods, that's a curse. All right. It says, verse 28, and a curse. All right. So the nation of Israel is cursed. All right. We're cursed as a nation because we did not keep the laws and statutes and commandments. All right. That's why the Lord said that we will be cursed when you read Deuteronomy 28 in verse 15. All right. This Deuteronomy 28 and 15. It says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I commanded thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. We're cursed as a nation. All right. So we are cursed as a people. All right. We are cursed as a nation. But we still supposed to be keeping our laws and statutes and commandments. Even though our forefathers broke the old covenant, we still supposed to keep the laws. And how we know we're supposed to keep the laws? Because when you read Romans in the New Testament, Apostle Paul says this. This is Romans 6, and we're going to read verse 14. This is what Apostle Paul said, and Apostle Paul was an Israelite. He says, for sin shall not have dominion over you, for ye are not under the law, but under grace. Now, you got a lot of Christians that will read this verse right here, and when they read this, they'll say, see, we're not under the law, so we don't have to keep the laws no more. All right, we're under grace. We have grace, so we don't have to keep the laws. The laws have been nailed away by the Messiah, when that's a total lie. All right, the Messiah just says in Matthew chapter 5 and 17 that he's not coming to destroy the law or the prophets. All right, so the Messiah did not get rid of the laws. All right, we still supposed to keep them. And how we know that we still supposed to keep them? Verse 15. What then? Shall we sin because we are not under the law but under grace? He said, God forbid. And we're going to find out what that word God forbid means. All right, this is why it's good to read and understand words. Now that word God forbid is a Greek word which is G3361. It means may. All right, which is what? God forbid. It means lack, less, neither, never, no. It means no. All right, God forbid means no. All right, it says it right there. Any but that X forbear, God forbid, lacks, less, neither, never, no. It means no. God forbid means no. Not, no, that not, forbid, less, none. It means no. God forbid means no. So you still supposed to keep the laws and statutes and commandments to the best of your ability. All right. Now you're not gonna be able to keep them perfectly, but you're supposed to be rehearsing them to the best ability, rehearsing the righteous acts, which is keeping the laws and statutes and commandments. This is John. We're gonna go to John. All right, because this is what I want to bring out. This is John. That's First John, but I'll read it. John 3 and 4. This is First John chapter 3, verse 4. It says, whosoever committed sin transgress also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law. For sin is the transgression of the law. Because if there's no sin, all right, there's no law, statutes, and commandments, then there's no such thing as sin. All right, sin is the transgression of the law. And what is transgression? Let's find out what transgression is. And we're going to go here, and we're going to go into the meaning of that word, transgress, which is G4160. All right, transgress is, all right, it says abide, agree, appoint, avenge, band, together, bear, bure, bring, cast out, all right, cause, commit, content, continue, deal, without, delay, do, execute, gain, all right, lie, wait, none of these, let me see, me, observe, all right, it says do, make, bring forth, commit, bear, fulfill. All right, well, I went to the right one. For edification's sake, we're gonna go directly to the meaning of transgress. All right. Matter of fact, Salakia, this is what I can do. We'll go to the blue letter. Bear with me. Salakia. It's gonna take a minute. We'll go to the blue letter. I was at 1 John chapter 3, and we're gonna read verse 4. Now that word transgression, we can go into the true meaning of the word transgresseth. We'll go transgression though. The word transgression. Alright. Alright. It means G458.
Strong's G458. Anamia.
Which means what? The condition of without law, because ignorant of it, because of violating it. Alright, that word transgression, it means to violate. Alright, to break, to violate, unrighteousness, to break, transgress. Alright, it means to violate. So when you're not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, alright, then you're not rehearsing the righteous acts. Alright, you're violating the law. You're committing sin. Sin is the transgression of the law. Now when you go to Salakia, 1 John 5 and 2, because this is the truth. This is 1 John 5 and 2. It says, by this we know that we love the children of the Most High. Who's the children of the Most High? The Israelites, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and the American Indians. It says when we love the Most High and keep his commandments. Because if you love the Most High Yahweh, All right, you're going to keep his commandments. Verse 3, it says, for this is the love of the Most High, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. That word grievous, it's a word that means burden. All right, it's not a burden. All right. So we understand that we supposed to be keeping the laws and statutes and commandments. This is 2 John and 1. All right, and we're going to read down verse 6. It says, and this is love, that we walk after his commandments. All right, this is the commandment, that as ye have heard from the beginning, ye shall walk in it. And what is that? The Mosaic law, the laws of Moses. All right, because we supposed to keep the laws and statutes and commandments. Verse 4, it says, I rejoice greatly that I have found of thy children walking in truth. Who's the Lord's children walking in truth? The hopeful elect. Started from the elders and apostles of great millstone to the sincere brothers. It says, as we have received a commandment from the Father. All right. We supposed to still be keeping the laws and statutes and commandments. All right. There's nothing have changed. The Lord says that he has not changed. All right. So we still supposed to be keeping the laws and statutes and commandments. This is Matthew chapter 5, and we're going to read verse 17. This is what the Messiah said unto the disciples. It says, think not that I have come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. So the Lord is coming to fulfill. He's not coming to destroy the law. He didn't die on the cross to destroy the laws. He didn't die on the cross, to nail the law to the cross. The Messiah didn't do that. All right. He never came to destroy the law. He says it right here. Think not I come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. Verse 18. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot, one little, shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled. Verse 19, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and teach man so, because you got these 501c3 charter pastors in these Christian churches, they teaching that the laws are done away with and that you don't have to keep them because the Messiah died and nailed them to the cross. But the Messiah says right here to the disciples, this is what he say to the apostles, verse 19, and whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and teach men so, because you got these pastors teaching people not to keep the laws, that the laws are done away with. All right. It says he shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven. They're not going to receive the kingdom. They're going to be destroyed. All right. It says, but whosoever shall do and teach them, which are the men of the Lord, who are the elders and apostles of great millstone, because we're fishing for the Lord's elect, and we're teaching them the truth. We're teaching them to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of their ability. All right. They're not going to be able to keep them perfectly in Babylon. All right. It says the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. So you're supposed to be keeping the laws and statutes and commandments to the best of your ability. All right, you're not going to keep them perfectly. All right, but you're supposed to be keeping them to the best of your ability. This is Revelation 14:12. It says, "Here's the patience of the saints." Who are the saints? The Israelites, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. All right. It says, here are they that keep the commandments of the Heavenly Father, of the Most High, and the faith of Yahushua. So that's the correct doctrine to this gospel, to this good news. All right. You're supposed to be keeping the laws and statutes and commandments and having the faith of Yahushua. All right. So you're supposed to keep the laws and statutes and commandments of Yahweh. All right. And have the faith of Yahushua. So you're supposed to believe in this truth 100%, teach the correct doctrine. All right, and that's the order. That's what you're supposed to do. Let me get out of Ecclesiastes. I think it's Ecclesiastes 12 and Salakia 12 and 13. It says, "Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man." See, the laws is all in the scriptures. Let's go to Joshua. We're gonna get that out. There's many scriptures about keeping the laws. All right. This is Joshua chapter 1, and we're gonna read verse 7 through 8. This is Joshua chapter 1, verse 7. It says, "Only be thou strong and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do according to all the law which Moses my servant commanded thee. Turn not from it to the right hand or to the left, all right, that thou mayest prosper whatsoever thou goest, all right, because you got dudes of these other groups, you know, only Old Testament Israelites, and you got these Christians and these 501c3 charter churches, they only keep in the New Testament. All right, you can't do that. That's why when the scriptures say you can't go left and you can't go right, you can't just follow one part of the Bible and not the other. The Bible goes hand in hand. All right, so you have to follow the Old and the New Testament. It goes hand in hand. And when you read in the book of Zechariah, it talks about that. All right, it talks about the what is it? I'm trying to remember I forgot what it's called. It's the symbol of the menorah. I can't remember what it was. It talks about the 7 pillars. Okay, I'll probably do a breakdown about that one day. The 7 pillars. All right, and that's talking about the order of how you are to be. All right, the 7 pillars, and that's in the scriptures, and that's in Zechariah, I believe, Zephaniah or Zechariah, the 7 pillars, verse 8. It says, "This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night." And what did King David do when you read Psalms chapter 1, verse 2? He said that his delight is to keep the law of the Lord and meditate day and night. And that's the same thing Joshua did. It says, "But thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein." So you're supposed to follow the whole entire Bible. All right. You're not supposed to just follow half of it. You're not supposed to just follow just certain parts of it. You have to follow everything contrary to the Bible. Because the Lord says in Malachi 3 and 4 that he does not change. The Lord never changed nothing. All right, the Messiah never changed nothing. It says, "For then thou shalt make thy way precious, prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success." And that's how you're supposed to be. The Bible works hand in hand. All right, you don't just go right and you just don't go left. You have to go hand in hand. The Bible goes hand in hand. All right. Now the 7 pillars. I'm gonna see if I can get it on what I'm talking about for those other brothers that don't understand what I'm talking about. I'm gonna see if I can get an image of the 7 pillars. All right, because the 7 pillars is in the scriptures, and it talks about how to be. All right, according to the scriptures. Salakia, 7 pillars. Bear with me. See if I can get the 7 pillars out. Salakia. All right. Now, what I'm talking about when I say the 7 pillars, let me see if I can get it. 7 pillars. Salakia. My phone is acting slow. All right, the 7 pillars is in the scriptures. Now, when I was talking about the 7 pillars, I'm talking about this right here. The 7 pillars, which is in the scriptures. All right, this is the 7 pillars of wisdom. All right, fear and discretion, fear of the Lord, counsel, power, insight, sound judgment, and prudence. Those are the 7 pillars. All right, which also goes into rehearsing the righteous acts. All right, the 7 pillars of wisdom. And that's what I'm talking about. When the Bible goes hand in hand, the Bible goes hand in hand. All right, these are the 7 pillars. So, I'm going to end it there with that. Proven, in the scriptures that there's a particular order on how you're supposed to conduct yourself as an Israelite. All right, so I'm in it there with that. I pray this video is edifying. I want to give all honors and glories and praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Mahawa Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, because that's what I learned this truth from, through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai. Peace, blessings, salutations to those who elect, and shalom to you, sincere brothers that scattered abroad, pushing forth this word in truth and sincerity. I am Mashiach, Irazakah, Bangay Yasha Allah. All right, coming through the spirit, and with that, I pray this video is edifying. Until next time, I say shalom.